So we're here with Officer Nathan Herbert of a municipal police department. He is a 5-year veteran of the school resource unit and many years of patrol prior to that. He's worked with teens exclusively and has a lot of experience dealing with crimes in the digital arena. And so we'd like to get some insights. Thanks for talking to us today, Nate. Appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, let's shift gears and talk a little bit about sexting.
Okay.
Started out in the early 2000s with flip phones, and now it's a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a school resource officer in 2008 being astounded that I had 5 girls come to me in 1 year with reporting, that there was that they had sexted. That there's an image of them being passed around.
Yeah.
5 in a year, I was, oh my gosh, this is horrible.
Right.
How's that different now?
The difference in my experience has become more common. And so it's less reported.
Okay.
Because it's more acceptable than it had been before.
Okay.
We do see it, and it's alarming, and yet we don't get it as many reports of it as we used to.
What do you think? Are they getting more over at the junior high, more reports, or is it still?
It's we've had reports of the junior high.
Yeah.
But I can't say whether it's less of it or more at the high school.
Okay.
I think you just have to, there's probably just a certain percentage of your population that's doing it.
Yeah. All right. So what's the typical police or school administrator response to sexting incidents? Have you had any at all recently?
Yeah. There's a couple of statutes that have the last few years have been created for minors because the problem has become so prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
If a child creates an image of
a child,
themselves,
that's anybody under the age of 18.
Correct. If they create an image of themselves and they share it with other minors,
mm-hmm.
If it's just a single minor, it's actually considered a petty offense.
Okay.
So if, say, boyfriend and girlfriend are sending images to each other,
yeah,
and it doesn't go outside of that,
yeah,
it's actually a petty offense.
So that's a ticket that you can't just pay by mail. You have to go to court. It's basically what a petty offense is in Arizona, anyway.
Yeah, but for the 2 minors, it would be referred to Maricopa Juvenile
Court.
Yep.
So anytime you cite somebody for a petty offense, you get a ticket, but you got to go to see a judge. Or
yes.
Yeah. So that's how it's handled.
So if you were just to display that image or show that image to other minors, mm-hmm. as a minor,
yeah,
it would become a Class 3 misdemeanor.
If you share it with more than just 1 or 2 other people.
Correct.
Okay.
But it's from minor to minor.
To minors.
Yes. Now, if you were to, as a minor or an adult, to produce any sexual images with children in them, then you would be producing child pornography.
Yeah, that's like a Class 2 felony.
Yeah.
It's heavy duty.
Yep.
And in Arizona, an adult in possession of a child, a sexually exploited child, they can get up to 10 years per image. I know it doesn't typically happen, but they could get hit that hard.
Right. So if that child is distributing those images to adults, it changes everything.
Yeah. What does it change for the child, for the minor?
It becomes a felony.
It becomes a felony for them as well.
Yes.
If they're sending these images to adults.
If producing it or distributing it, yes.
So I know we've got, high school boys and girls who may think they've got a lucrative online business selling sex.
Sure.
And that puts them in the class of a felony.
That's right.
Let's talk about maybe some of the social, academic, and professional consequences of sexting.
Sure.
What's your take on it? What do you see? Do you see any emotional or social side effects from sexting in the school? How does it affect them in their social groups? On the one hand, it probably makes them popular.
Yeah, for some of them, they see that as a means to become more popular with people who may find them attractive.
Sure.
On the flip side, there's a great deal of shame that they later deal with.
So even though it seems like a good idea at the time, and it might give you a little bit of popularity up front,
right,
they're paying for it on the back end.
Yeah, the associative shame is destructive.
Yeah.
On all emotional and
which is funny, because we've moved into a society that's supposedly so much more tolerant and so much more accepting, and yet if you do something like this, it's still a huge faux pas. It's going to come back later.
The problem with it is that it's long lasting.
Yeah.
I mean, once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that back.
And in a sense, you'll never be able to outlive that, right?
Correct.
I mean, you're not going to, if I did some dumb things as a teenager, but it wasn't on video and nobody knows about it, so
right,
I've been able to grow up and put that in my past.
Right. So whether it's sexting or drug use, when they send out those images or those videos, they're there forever.
Yeah. And so how does that affect you academically? I mean, you work in the school. I know you're not a teacher, but you work in the schools.
There is, I mean, you're right. I'm not in the classroom as much as the teachers, but I will say there seems to be a correlation with overall performance in class and the way they're using their social media. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about professionally down the line? Are you going to be able to get hired on as a police officer in this city if you've got a history of sexting pictures out there?
If there's a known history, then you're not going to pass too many background checks. For being a cop or anything? Just about anything, yeah.
Yeah. So even if you didn't want to become a cop, but I want to become a network security analyst for a large corporation.
Absolutely.
They're going to do a background check on me, and they're going to say,
well, if I want to be an attorney and get past the bar,
yeah,
I've got to
social media check.
Yep.
So if you want to be an attorney, if you want to be in any kind of security field or
yes,
anything where you're trusted with information.
Trusted with information, or if you want to be a physician and you want to prescribe medication,
yeah,
they've got to know that you have integrity.
Yeah.
Because you're entrusted with those items as well as other people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. So we're here with Officer Nathan Herbert of a municipal police department. He is a 5-year veteran of the school resource unit and many years of patrol prior to that. He's worked with teens exclusively and has a lot of experience dealing with crimes in the digital arena. And so we'd like to get some insights. Thanks for talking to us today, Nate. Appreciate it.